Welcome to the Recording Journey, episode number 11. Welcome to you mothers, brothers, daughters, fathers, sons, everybody. Let's do this thing. Now you might know on episode number 11, that brings us more than halfway to our big old goal of getting to episode 21. What's the big deal about 21? Well, apparently 21 episodes is about 21 more episodes than most podcasts ever make it to. So that's not going to be the end game, but I'll tell you what, it is the big game right now, and I'm excited to go on the journey with you. Now, today on the show, we got some news from the forum. We got a couple of new songs from people, including Chris Aitken, who's given us a great new song. I cannot wait to play it for you. And then your boy Lound showed up. We hadn't heard from him in a second. We've been wondering what he was up to. Well, he showed up with a real cool new song. I cannot wait to play it for you. And then after that, we're going to do another deep dive interview into one of the bands from Bandball. This is going to be the band 3. I can't wait to let you hear the interview with them about where they were coming from with their song that they submitted to the competition. All right, first up is the news. All right, I'm going to keep it light for you. I got just one big news item for you, and that is that the Cover This Song Challenge for November and December is well underway. We are real deep into December by now, and that means that the clock is ticking, baby. Santa Claus is coming. Now, the song that won the voting challenge for this Cover This Song Challenge was AC/DC's You Shook Me All Night Long. Now, there were a couple other songs that had some real gusto and enthusiasm behind them from people that, we might end up hearing some submissions for. Scott Swede last week, he submitted his interpretation of The Weeknd's Blinding Lights, even though it didn't win, and it was really cool. So feel free to jump in and do one of those. But I'm looking forward to hearing everybody's interpretations of the AC/DC classic. And we've heard one so far that had a little bit even of a Christmas touch put to it from David Fraser. And you got to come on the forum and listen to that because it will shake you all night long. So come on, figure out what you're going to do to that song. Bring us a fresh take on it or do karaoke night. I don't care. I just want to hear you bring the Christmas spirit to that classic rock song. And that brings us to the end of the news, which leads us right into my very favorite part of the show. The part of the show where I get to show off original songs from forum members. To start us off, it's a song from Chris Aitken. He gave us a song called Every Child Matters. And let me tell you, from my point of view, when you're going to do a song that touches on subject matter that heavy, with a song title that's kind of that on the nose, you better bring it, or the song is either going to fall flat or land like a piece of cheese. And let me tell you, I am proud to say that this guy delivered. This song, it just moves me. It speaks to that child inside of myself that really needs to be spoken to and held and encouraged. And I just can't say enough good things about this song. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm going to play the song for you, but do yourself a favor. Go to his YouTube channel and check out the video for it because he put something special together that way too. All right, here it is from Chris Aitken. It's Every Child Matters.
In a world where innocence shines so bright, the laughter of children, the sound of delight, every child matters, their hearts pure and free, a future of hope and possibility. We are to love and protect, a promise we hold, guiding their dreams and watch them unfold. With voices united, together we stand, for every child matters, every child matters. Be a voice for those who cannot speak. Hold them close and cherish what makes them unique. With courage and love, we'll stand by their side, guiding our children to what's good and right. We are to love and protect, a promise we hold, voices united, together we stand. For every child matters, every child matters. Innocence must flourish, let cruelty cease. A world of compassion and hearts at peace. No harm shall befall them, no shadows to bear. Together we'll shield them with love and with care. We are to love and protect, a promise we hold, guiding their dreams and watch them unfold. With voices united, together we stand. For every child matters, every child matters. If you harm a child, your actions are seen before the divine, where judgments convene. In the eyes of compassion, justice shall be a safeguard for children to set spirits free. We are to love and protect, a promise we hold, guiding their dreams and watch them unfold. With voices united, together we stand. For every child matters, every child matters. In the eyes of God, every child matters. Every tongue, every nation, across every land, every child matters. Yes, every child matters.
What did I tell you? That song is something special. And I'm going to just be honest with you. If I tried to write something that bare nakedly honest, I don't think I could do it half that well. So it makes me want to study what went right with that song and try to inject a little bit of it into my own music. All right, next up, we got a song from Lound. Our guy Esley. Man, it's really good to see him on the forum. Haven't seen him in a minute, and I want you to know, brother, you have been missed. Well, he gave us this new song that he just released. It's called Rewind, and he told us a little bit about the song. I asked him to give us a little bit of background, and he said, well, this song is very personal. I did try, as always, to write it in a way that could feel relatable to other people, but for me, it was a necessary step in my life. I struggle with letting go of the past, but I also know that I need to revisit it sometimes. This song helped me process that. Also, it's one of those songs that just flows naturally. I wrote it in about 2 hours and recorded and produced it within a week. That doesn't happen very often to me, and I enjoy it so much when it does. Well, that's cool, man. I appreciate the background on that song, so let's give it a listen and enjoy it, all right? Here we go. This is from Lound. The song is called Rewind.
Every moment
It's beautiful. So beautiful. To hit rewind like an old cassette. Times intertwined, so we don't forget. It's beautiful to hit rewind like an old cassette. Times intertwined, so we don't forget. Man, what a cool song. And if you're gonna come back swinging on a vine into the forum like that after a little bit of an absence, that's a song to do it with, man. And he said one more thing about the song. Esley told us the only thing to add is that this song captures what nostalgia means to me. A beautiful place to go sometimes, but not a place to stay too long. I couldn't agree more, man. This song really captures that feeling, that motivation, that momentum. It makes me want to revisit the past, appreciate it, learn from it, love it, and then come back to the present. Bring that appreciation to the people, places, and things in my life right now. Thanks for the song, brother. Which brings us to the final part of our show. We're going to do another deep dive interview with one of the bands from our band ball competition. This is the band 3, digging deep into the origins of their song, Self-Portrait. Now, first, I'm going to play the song for you, and then we're going to get into the interview, all right? Here we go.
An empty canvas, brush in hand, trying to capture who I am. Into the mirror, stare to see the man that I can be. So much I need to show. Can I paint so you will know? Colors mix, blur and fade, like choices that we made. Trace the wrinkles, sketch the scars. Years gone by left their marks. Every stroke I hesitate, afraid of what I might relate. The brush finds a rhythm, canvas takes control, layers textures to reveal the window to the soul. Dip the brush in shades of green, craft a face the world will see. Mirrors quiet, room is still, watch the canvas fill. With every stroke I start to see images of who I'm meant to be. Brush finds a rhythm, canvas takes control, layers, textures to reveal the window to the soul.
That's a magnificent song. There is so much to love about that and be inspired by about that. So I think the very first part of this interview that you hear about the origins of this song and how it all came together really might blow your mind. Check it out.
So we had not picked a name, right? And so we were team 3, and Papa G bugged me to go ahead and come up with a name. And I just said, well, 3 sounds good. Yeah, we're good. So we just rolled with that.
I love it.
But we actually took on something far bigger than what we ended up producing. The original song was actually called The Edge of Darkness. And we were ready to throw in the towel 2 weeks before because there was no way we were going to finish it.
You were ready to just say, we're out?
We can't. We're out. Yeah. And so Tony said, well, does somebody have a half-finished song that we can go ahead and start over and see if we can crank something out? And there was something I had actually written the week before, which ended up being a self-portrait. A friend of mine who I have not seen in like 30 years saw something that I had posted online on one of my songs and contacted me. He's an artist, and he does all these self-portrait things. So that's where the theme from the song came from, was I was looking at some of his work, and I started writing something on it. So that idea for the song really started 10 days before Bandball was due. So we basically just started all over. I had the verses sketched out, and I had the chord patterns and stuff sketched out, and I gave that to Jacob and Tony, and listened to it. And then Tony put an acoustic guitar part on it, and we were trying to work out where we went with it, and I finally figured out the chorus that went with it. But the chorus that went with it drove it to more, let's make it a straight rock song, 4/4, and go with it. So that version of the song that we posted really started about 5 days before we had to post it, that it became a song.
Brother, so pardon my French, that's fucking nuts.
It is. But so the way it came together, and that was why, if I think about it, when we came in last on mixing, it's like, that's because we've only done, that 80-20 thing we had? We'd only done 20% of the work at this point. So the song really needed a lot more polishing for people to think it well mixed and think it. So we're not sad at all that nobody voted for us, because we've just felt like we didn't deserve it, But so anyway, when it came together, once we had the parts, unfortunately, it is probably 70% me because it became the song that I wrote at that point. So the vocals are all me. The rhythm guitar is me. The acoustic guitar that's in there's Tony. The bass and the lead guitar are Jacob. The drums are me. The bass I actually wrote with my left hand on the keyboard and then played it through a MIDI bass. And then I knew it needed to be played live. So Jacob took what I wrote, learned the part, played it back live. The tone that you hear that is so cool is a happy accident. Okay. What happened was he came up with this very aggressive version of it. Pretty much note for note what I had written, but an aggressive playing of it. That's on the right channel. The old MIDI version is on the left channel. When I plugged his in, I hadn't shut the other one off. Listening to the two of them go together, it's like, this rocks. So that bass tone that everybody has said they love listening to it, that's just a happy accident. That was not planned at all.
Yeah, man, that was one of the first things that I noticed about the song. This bass sounds cool.
It does. And I'm sure I am going to try doing that again because it works. But so that came together that way. The lead guitar is really just Jacob trying his noodling through it twice. And he came up with those parts. And I comped from the 2 times he went through it, And then when we figured out the ending, I said, play the last verse and the ending once more. But that's all the work that went into creating that lead that he did for that. And he's an awesome guitarist. If you get the chance to work with him and collab with him, go for it. And then the keyboard part to it, once I had his lead, I sat back down on the organ, and that's one take through it. And we put that together.
That's just one take.
That's one take.
That's
I have
very
never
impressive.
played that before or after, so it's just there. And I think I went in, when I do it, I go ahead and put the output to MIDI. And I think there were 2 or 3 notes during his solo where I was kind of anticipating, where I knew I had listened to it once or twice and I knew where he was going. And I was kind of trying to go ahead and make the keyboard part work against his. And I missed the note that he hit. So I went back in and tweaked it up a step on the MIDI, but that's like 3 notes out of the whole thing, you know. The crazy thing that I didn't realize how many 64th notes and faster I play. When I looked at the MIDI out from this thing, it's like, Jesus, those dots are almost, I can't find them. But the note's there and you can hear it. You know? Yeah, it was really fun that way.
That is so cool, man. Any important lessons that you took from your experience you want us to take with us?
Well, the important experience with it was the idea of not taking on something too big, and making sure all 3 of you can be on board with it. Because I think what happened was we had a lot of problems communicating at first, just because of time frames. Tony's in the UK and Jacob's in Vancouver. So we had that problem going with us, and then Tony got sick a little bit at the first time. So we actually never, in the course of this band ball, managed to do what we're doing right now, which I think was a real disadvantage. But we just could not work it out with each other's schedules. So we had one of those planned, and then Tony ended up missing it. But Jacob and I got on, and I found out he likes prog rock as much as I do. So we picked up stuff that was overly ambitious. Now, what I like to do when I collab with somebody is start with a completely blank slate if you can. And that's what we were trying to do. So we came up with basically 3 sets of kind of chord patterns ideas. And one of them was even in 13/8. And once we had those 3, Jacob actually managed to piece them all together so that they really worked. As this would be the first verse part, this would be the chorus, this would be the verse part. That 13/8 part was a long extended bridge, and then we went back into an ending and stuff. So that was coming together, and then I managed to put melody tracks over the whole thing, and Jacob managed to put the drums over the whole thing. Tony tried to play guitar over it, but I think it kind of blew his head off. It was not the right project for him to be working on. So I think that was part of what didn't come together. So Tony decided what he could do was go ahead and really work on the lyrics and stuff. And so what we had, he came up with this concept where the edge of darkness comes from, about crossing the river Styx and not being able to get on and move on from this side of life to another. And his lyrics were really good, but they were not singable in the rhythms that we needed. So I ended up taking his lyric themes and rewriting them into patterns that fit with the parts. And that's about how far we got. And we were starting to work on the instrumentation on that and everything. And that's when we realized we're just never going to finish this. It was not going to happen. So
okay, but there might come a day when that song that you guys had to table, we might hear it.
I would love to finish that at some point. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
And I think Jacob and I would love to finish it. I think Tony would be happy if his lyrics just ended up in it and he got to listen to it.
Anybody else got anything to say about it?
Like the sound of the guitar. I can't even describe what that means. The short notes. I don't know how. There may be a term for that, but I just like what he did, and it's melodic as opposed to achromatic, the way so many guitar breaks are.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, his fills and the lead that he pulled off on that was great. Yeah,
and it's not it doesn't draw attention to itself. It's there to complement the song.
That's true. It could have come off as like, this guy's really showing off, but it doesn't feel that way at all. No. It just serves a song.
The other part of that is how you edit it, because there's a ton of automation on his guitar as to when it comes in and when it doesn't, and then making sure it stays out of the way of the vocal. That's probably the mix for this whole thing. It's like the levels are taken care of. There's probably an automation track on every one of the instruments, bringing the levels up and down and balancing it. But there's almost no EQ, almost no extra processing or compression or reverb or on any of it.
Really?
I didn't have time for it. And I think the only EQ adjustment that was made is there's a cut in the lows and the low mids on the rhythm guitar because the bass was so strong. It got muddy in that area. But that was about the only adjustment we had time to make to the mix on it, too. And so,
Well, you know what? When you're dealing with that kind of a tight timeline, I guess it does force you to go 80-20 really fast and figure out, this is all the time I have, so what decisions are going to be critical and what would be nice but is not going to be necessary to make the song listenable.
yeah, definitely. And there were some really bad mixes before that one. Like the first time it came together, it was mud, you know.
Really?
All right, that brings us to the end of that interview with Marty Helly and his band 3 and talking about their song Self-Portrait. Marty, thanks so much for sharing so much with us about where that song came from. And that brings us to the end of the show this week. Now, it's the end of episode number 11, a real milestone for us. I'm so proud. Thanks for coming and sharing some time with us, enjoying some music from our forum members and this deep dive interview with the band 3 and their song Self-Portrait. Come on to the forum, share some of your music with us. Come take part in the Cover This Song Challenge. We got a Mix This Song Challenge going on with some stems and multi-tracks from one of our forum members and one of their songs. We got a bunch of cool stuff going on, so come be part of our community if you can. And if nothing else, I'm so grateful that you were here as part of this podcast with us. I will see you next week on episode number 12. Take care, y'all. God bless.